Good evening and welcome. I'm Rabbi Jamie Aklepi, and welcome to our Temple Beth Annex or studio number 2 of my living room. I'm glad that you are joining us. It is Thursday, May 21st, and this is 42 days of counting the Omer and another great day, our 4th show of Erev Tov, our show called Good Evening. It's a part happy hour, part human interest, part words of wisdom, all fun. And since it is 42nd days of counting the Omer, which means 6 weeks, we have one more week until the holiday of Shavuot, our festival of weeks, our festival of the early summer harvest, our festival Zman Matan Toratenu, the time of the giving of our Torah on Mount Sinai, which means, like the other days of Erev Tov, I have matched our drinks according to the time of year. And so tonight's drinks, both the drink with alcohol and the drink without alcohol, are Torah themed. Tonight's drinks are called the Sinai Sipper. Now, last week when I learned about the garage band smash and how we would smash the herbs in the shaker, I thought I would continue that theme and have this drink, the Sinai Sipper, also operate in a little bit the same way. Well, why am I calling it the Sinai Sipper? Just because Torah was given on Mount Sinai? Well, yes, the Torah is given on Mount Sinai. We're going to celebrate it next week. It's the theme of the show, Shavuot, the holiday of receiving the Torah. Also, the holiday of the agricultural festival, where we decorate our homes and the synagogue with flowers. Well, that's the hint for our next guest. In a little while after we taste our drinks and make the drinks, we'll be Meredith Claren of Kitanim Flowers. So we will be all prepared with a drink, with a little bit of idea about what is Shavuot and how to be prepared physically for it. So why Shavuot? Why this drink? What is a Sinai Sipper? Well, here we go. You know that in Deuteronomy, in the book of Devarim, we read, "For Adonai your God is bringing you into a good land, a land with streams and springs and fountains, issuing from plain and hill, a land." Now we have the 7 species, Shivat Minim, a land of wheat and barley, vines, which means grapes, and figs, pomegranates, a land of olive trees, and honey, really date honey. So those 7 ingredients, those are the 7 species found in the land of Israel. Well, I thought tonight's drinks should be from items found in the Torah. So we are focusing on grapes and the pomegranates. Lo and behold, I left the grapes in the freezer. So if my husband is listening, you'll bring me the grapes from the freezer. I don't know if he is. Well, that's part of the drink. Oh, I hear a patter of feet. In the freezer drawer, in the freezer, I have frozen grapes. Let's see. It's so hard to remember everything. Well, picture yourself, excellent. Picture yourself on Mount Sinai. Watch this camera magic. I reach out, ta-da, grapes. Picture yourself on Mount Sinai and you experience this wonderful synesthesia, thunder, lightning. You can see the thunder. You can hear the lightning, the mixing of the senses. That's what it was like for the revelation of the Torah. That's what it was like when Moses brought Torah to the Israelite people. Something so overwhelming that it was hard to describe. The senses were all jumbled. Now, this drink is going to taste good, but I hope it doesn't jumble all of your senses. As I said, we're going to focus on pomegranates and grapes and something made from grain, in this case, vodka. So in my shaker, I have pomegranate juice, I have vodka, I have mint, because I really like mint and I like the idea of the smashed mint. So the mint gets smashed with the ice cubes. I like the idea of a cyanide sipper because one of my favorite things to do, which I haven't been able to do recently, is to go to South Beach and rent a beach chair around 16th Street by the Lowe's Hotel. And they make a pink lemonade, a frozen pink lemonade with vodka, which I love. This is going to be like my Jewish version. So there's the pomegranate juice with the smashed mint. Looks great, doesn't it? And the vodka. I used equal measure vodka to pomegranate juice here. I made it double because when Gabby's done with her Zoom call, maybe she'll have some. And I washed it, a sprig of mint. To make sure that we have at least 2 of the items mentioned in the Torah, I have these really delicious and beautiful frozen half grapes. And I have them so when they melt a little bit, you'll get a little bit more flavor. So this is, and it's on crushed ice. So this cyanide sipper, including items from Torah meets Sinai, Torah from Sinai, should be an excellent drink. It looks beautiful. You want to sip it and you want to taste it. Now, that 1:1 ratio of the pomegranate juice and the vodka is a little bit strong for me. It may need a little bit more vodka. This is great. It's not sweet at all. Let's see what it's like non-alcoholic. The mint, I have a piece of mint at the bottom, always to make sure that I can differentiate between the drink I am going to use alcohol in and the drink I am not going to use alcohol in. I have my half grapes. I have my sprig of fresh mint. This time we went to Publix. I have my pomegranate juice. And another great thing to sip, I have my seltzer. And if I was really smart, I thought I opened it ahead of time so it wouldn't explode all over us. I also modeled the nice big mint leaf in the bottom of that glass ahead of time to get that extra oil of the mint. Mix that up. And this Sinai sipper is really delicious as well. So here we have 2 drinks, 2 Sinai sippers, right from the Torah for Shavuot. So we Jews, known as people of the book, also trace this holiday as an agricultural holiday. So we want to celebrate both ways as we acknowledge the agricultural part of the holiday, as we acknowledge the historical part, the spiritual part. Now, you may know that Shavuot is associated with eating dairy. And so we have cheesecake, we have blintzes, all kinds of wonderful dairy things. And we have a number of reasons. One, because the land in which we received the Torah in the desert, but many of the laws were to be followed specifically only in the land of Israel. And the land of Israel is a land flowing with milk and honey. But there's another reason, lots of reasons. One of the customs is that Torah is likened to milk. Why milk? We know that Torah is likened to water. You can't live without water. Torah is the tree of life. But why milk? Because just like milk is needed to nourish a newborn, so is Torah our spiritual nourishment. So when we think about Shavuot and our foods, we'll have a Sinai sipper, and we can also enjoy dairy products. So that's for next week. We won't have an Erev Tov next Thursday night because we will be celebrating Shavuot. So we hope you'll join us for our service and online Torah study. But there's more. Not only may we eat dairy and enjoy fruit from the land, but we need to get ready. We need to celebrate the harvest. We need to decorate our homes and synagogues, which is usually done. And in Israel, still today, there's a very special custom of decorating, yes, our children. Not only the first fruits brought to the temple in Jerusalem in ancient times, the first fruits as in the firstborn of the animals, but there are first fruits of the human beings, the first fruits of our labors, our children, the children born for the year come and get special blessings, especially on the kibbutzim throughout Israel. And those first fruits are many times decorate themselves, those children. And throughout Israel, children get to wear special headpieces, beautiful garlands. And we're going to learn about those today. So I want to welcome Meredith Claren from Kitanim Flowers and her daughter, Alex. Come on in and join us. And welcome to Erev Tov. Here we come. Hi, Meredith. And Meredith and Alex are wearing beautiful headbands.
Oh, thank you. We're modeling the hair halos that we're going to teach you how to make tonight.
Beautiful. And so, Meredith, where are you standing? Is that your home? Is that your business? Is it combined? Where is that place with all the vases and all the flower accoutrements? Where are you now?
So we are at my floral design studio, which is in the Falls warehouses. And we are stationed at my design table. And normally there would be several other designers and, people here, but we're, really keeping to social distancing. So I have Alex as my helper here. And yeah, we're excited to be here.
Great. So Alex is 6 years old and you're married to Josh. And does he work in the business with you?
Yes, Josh and I worked together. About a year ago, we decided that I needed help. The business was growing. And so, yeah, we've always wanted to work together and it was just the right time. So he does. He's home now with our other daughter.
And how old's your other daughter?
Hayden is 11 and she's currently in a Zoom ballet class. So,
of course she is.
What?
Of course she is. Everybody's now doing ballet through Zoom.
Yes. Her fabulous dance studio is now doing Zoom classes. So, right? Yeah.
And how did you choose the name Kitanim? We're always interested in that.
Okay. Yeah, we get this question a lot, and I love to answer it. So Josh and I met at a sleepaway camp called Crane Lake in the Berkshires. And when we worked there, I was in charge of the youngest group of campers, Kitanim, because in Hebrew it means little ones or seedlings. And camp is such a wonderful, magical place. And, I always wanted to figure out how I could pay tribute to that when we started our company. And so, there it was. I was looking for an interesting name and something that had meaning, and it kind of just fell into place.
That's great. By the way, that I didn't know because I happen to be an Eisnerite, and Camp Eisner is a neighbor.
Yeah. So I went to Eisner as a camper. but Josh and I met at Crane Lake as counselors.
So I was a camper and counselor. Well, madricha. No, machon. I was machon at Eisner, but you're much younger. So you were too young. You were there before me, but that probably my time at Eisner is the reason why I'm a rabbi today and such a close connection.
In normal times, we go to the Berkshires every summer. That's our 100% happy place. And Alex goes to Eisner Day Camp, and Hayden is at Crane Lake Sleepaway.
Oh, wow. So that's great. So that's a wonderful story. You met at a Jewish camp, and, there aren't stories I love better than that. And do you know that I knew Josh as a teenager when he was, I think, in confirmation. At Beth.
I didn't know that.
Aha. Yes.
She knew Daddy. Oh, God.
I knew Daddy when he was a teenager. And he was somewhat well behaved. So I'll say somewhat.
Okay. And talkative, I'm sure.
Talkative is 100% correct. So that is great. So Kitanin, from the little ones, the seedlings, to flowers. And how did flowers become your passion?
Oh, wow. That's such a loaded question. I have always loved making things. As a kid, my mom said I used to, right? I still do. I used to pick things from outside and create, see how we have like these little vases here? Just create little sort of nosegays and put them all around the house. And when I graduated college, I was really looking for a job where I could be creative and I didn't have to sit at a desk all day. And I felt like I needed something happy, and sort of flowers kind of fit every part of that equation. And after college, I moved to Manhattan and I took a job at a fabulous floral design company. And I loved it. I loved everything about it.
And did you grow up down here? Because Crane Lake's a northern camp. Where did you grow up?
No, so I'm from New Jersey. I grew up in Manalapan, right? Yeah, suburbia. Yeah. And Josh and I, like I said, we met at camp, and then I kind of made the trek here about 16 years ago.
Okay, so, beautiful.
Yeah.
And we heard that Alex, you told me that Alex is going to start at Temple Beth Day School next year?
Yes, she is, right? Yeah. She's very excited.
Alex, you're going to have the greatest time because we have the nicest teachers and such nice children and incredibly fun things to do and great things to learn. So I'm excited to see you at school next year. We're going to have a lot of fun and like incredible learning. You'll be very happy, and it'll be nice to see Mom during the day at school. So that is very great. Great. That is great. So flower halos. So, we don't always think about Shavuot or a Jewish holiday as adorning human beings, but that's one of the customs for Shavuot, putting flowers in our hair. Sort of, we think it as a hippy dippy thing, but it is totally cool and acceptable. So I love arts and crafts, but I can see it in my head and I know it's beautiful, but I cannot facilitate it, implement it with my hands. So teach us how to do it. So maybe even somebody like myself can figure it out. Yeah, so I am thrilled, and Alex will help me to show you how to create a hair halo. They're actually, besides Shavuos, they're actually super popular for weddings now, and just in general. It's a really nice feeling, to have flowers in your hair. So it's happy. So in order to make a hair halo, you need certain supplies. And, if anyone feels inspired after this and decides they want to do it, reach out to me and I could order some of these items for you. So we start with a bind wire. Can you hold up the spool?
So it's just a very thin green wire, and this will become the base of our halo. So essentially, I'm going to take mine off just for one moment. So basically, you want to do a quick measure. It's not an exact, but just to have an idea that you've cut your wire with, enough space. And so we don't actually want to tie it yet. If you tie it now, it's harder to attach the flowers. So we're going to leave it straight. The next tool that you need, and Alice will hold it up also, is this awesome double-sided sticky green tape, right? And so for everyone at home, you don't have it, but it has a weird texture to it. It's double sticky, and we use it for hair halos. We use it, when else do we use it? Right, for flowers if it's hard to tie, or boutonnieres. Okay, so essentially, once you have your items, you kind of get to decide, and this is creative mode, and Al's is going to be my stylist here, what kind of colors sort of, how do I want to decorate it? So if you look at sort of what's on our design table, we gave you lots of options. We gave you orange spray roses, we gave you pink spray roses, we gave you these guys, which are called blue thistle. They're some of my favorites. And then we also gave you these fun little white orchid blooms. Now, Alice, when you feel these, do they feel light or heavy? Very light. So the truth is, you don't want to weigh anything down too heavy on your head. So I always recommend using light flowers. Okay, so now we begin. I've sort of pre-cut my greens because I figured, we don't have all night, but we have a good amount of time. And so I'm using Italian ruscus. Do you know what this is called? It is called seeded eucalyptus. So I like a two-tone kind of green. And so basically, you need both hands. You need your sticky tape. And when I teach this in a class, I usually make people do it a few times because you have to get used to it. However, I'm going to show you. So you're pinching and you're twisting, okay? And that's the whole thing. You're pinching and twisting. Now, yeah, give me one sec. Now, the hair halo, I think, is beautiful with greens, but it's nice for it to have some color. And so I'm going to ask Alex to pick any sort of accent so I can add it. Give me one of these. Okay, so we have a pink spray rose. So I'm keeping my same green tape because I cut it long, and I'm doing the same concept. I'm twisting, see, I'm pinching and twisting. So in these COVID times, we do wear gloves, just so everyone knows, and we normally also wear a mask. However, these can't be made with gloves because you can't pinch. Okay, so now I have my set one, and then I'm gonna go back to my greens pile. I'm gonna add my lovely eucalyptus and my lovely Italian ruscus.
Does your eucalyptus have a scent? Does it smell like eucalyptus? Nice.
Minimal, but it does have a very sort of faint, nice scent. Comes from California. Really pretty. All right, Alice, I need my next color. So essentially, this is a repeat process for the entire, length of the wire. And some people like a pattern. So some people, that are very methodical will want to do one pink rose, one white orchid, and, keep going back and forth. Some people will like a more random approach. And what I tell everyone is that there's not really a right or wrong. It's, it's your creation. It's you having fun. So you just kind of see how it goes. So
Alex, what was your favorite flowers?
Say it again.
I would like to know which flowers Alex would choose.
Okay, which flower is your favorite, Alice, in your pile?
The white ones, the white orchids.
Okay, she likes the white
White
orchids, which are a very good choice. They're durable. Let me have one. I'll add it again. Okay, but even though she likes the white orchids, she's having me add a blush rose. Now, one thing after I add this guy that I didn't tell you about is actually wiring the flowers. So hair halos are a time-consuming endeavor. So if you go start to finish and you are prepping all your own items, I would say it's a good hour, if not more. We kind of pre-prepped for you because, you know, it would take too long, but I want to show you. So this is a spray rose, okay? Cute little rose. And I pre-cut a little piece of wire. So essentially, the items I've been using have been pre-wired. But if you're starting from scratch, you're gonna take your little wire and you're gonna poke it carefully, right? Carefully, so as not to poke yourself. You're gonna poke it through your flower. And the reason we do this is to essentially create a sturdier stem and a stem that then I can move. So now that my rose is on the wire, I can turn it. I kind of have a little more control over it. And then in the sort of prepping process, give me one sec, I'm not ready. We also take our lovely tape and we pre-wrap these. So that way they're ready to go. So that's really a step 2. And, you know, I did it this afternoon and, you know, it's kind of fun. It's kind of relaxing. You're twisting, you're pinching, you know, you get into a rhythm, right? Okay.
So you sound like you're going to your garden and you're clipping off a little flower and you're wrapping it on the green wire. You have to first put the other little wire into the flower. Otherwise, your bud sort of flops all over and it doesn't stay on the headpiece.
Correct. Not only does it flop all over, oftentimes the stem will break. So you'll start to tape it on because, you know, sometimes as florists, we do like a cheat, you know, like you're trying to get it done quickly, but it's never good to cheat because then it's not done correctly. So if you do that often, they'll snap and then you wind up redoing it, right? Okay, so you'll notice I'm about halfway through, right? Tell me when we have, you know, like 2 or 3 minutes and we'll show you like the end part of how we finish it.
Okay, you have in another minute, you can start showing us the end.
Okay.
How many brides?
One more. Oh, okay.
How many brides are ordering these now? Do you have brides that like to do the fresh flowers?
We have a lot of brides, I would say, that have their flower girls wearing hair halos. That's super popular and really just gorgeous. You know, very whimsical. It's sort of an image. I have some brides that will wear a hair halo, you know, down the aisle. More so, brides seem to prefer, you know, a bridal bouquet and maybe 1 or 2 blooms. You know, but it all depends. We've even made these halos as dog collars for a cute little dog that wants to go down the aisle, right? Yeah. So, you know, anything is possible. I'm going to add one more and then I'm going to show you how we finish it. Is that good?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only thing I don't. If you want me to officiate your wedding, please don't ask me to have your dog walk down the aisle. That's the only thing. I want the bride to shine, not the cute puppies, although I love puppies. My dog was just in here a little while ago.
Okay.
Then she walked out to get a treat.
Okay, so what I have here to kind of go with the whimsical theme, and this is really a finishing touch for a hair halo, is ribbon. We have a lace ribbon and we have a sheer white ribbon. And I am going to let Alex choose.
I like this one.
Okay, she picks the lace and I don't blame her. It's gorgeous. So essentially, when your hair halo is complete and you're ready to tie it, you're going to twist your wire at the end. I don't recommend cutting it off until you actually test and make sure it fits. I usually keep it long just in case. Hang on. So I'll test it on Alex. It fits. Then you can take your scissors or clippers and give a little trim. And Alex chose the lace. So basically, we kind of make a little tail in the back with the ribbon. I don't usually do a bow, but you could. I kind of like this idea that it would hang. Okay, put it on. Show everyone. Now spin around. Okay, so then sort of if you picture it and you know the child is outside in the fresh air, the ribbon kind of blows, it's very whimsical, right? Right? So it's fun. So hopefully I gave you a little bit of insight. There's always more to teach. And, you know, it's a lot of fun to make them and a lot of fun to kind of prepare the whole process.
That is a beautiful hair halo. And Alex, it looks great on you. And I'm very impressed on how you're very clear on your preferences, Alex, and how you're a great helper to your mom. I think that
She's a very good helper.
You're going to grow into that position beautifully. And that's where you'll be. You already have an eye for design. That is fabulous. Good for you, Alex.
So see, she did mine, and that's sort of a thicker ribbon.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
You have it.
I love those hair halos. They are wonderful. So Meredith, while you're here wearing those beautiful flowers, why don't you share with us some of the other arrangements that you like to design and that people find very popular and that you are sending off to members of the congregations and our family and friends at this time? What else?
Yeah. No, I'd love to. So we started this fabulous program called Pay It Forward, and sort of, you know, COVID pandemic kind of took over and it seemed a little gloomy, and we just felt like there needed to be something happy, something positive to kind of, you know, keep people's spirits up. So essentially we started this idea where we deliver mini bouquets to people's doorsteps, and it's, you know, no contact delivery. We don't even knock at the door. And we include a cute little card that's either anonymous, which was, you know, our original premise, that you're getting an anonymous sort of act of kindness and it makes someone's day. And then it's sort of like tag you're it, then they have to pay it forward and do something kind for the next person. Sometimes people want to write a note and want, you know, to notify someone that it's them thinking of them. And, you know, we're happy to also honor that request. So we do both. You know, and besides Pay It Forwards, we love designing. We do all sorts of designs for homes, for birthdays, for weddings, for events. Really with flowers, the sky is kind of the limit. And, you know, we sort of, to kind of circle back to why I got into this field, every single day, every single event is different. And it's never boring. It's always exciting. And so, you know, the pandemic has kind of brought on new adventures and challenges. And, you know, we're just really grateful to still be designing and working, and, you know, knock on wood, everyone's healthy. So we're happy.
Have you been able to get the same flowers that you've had before? Have you Have you are you getting different kinds of flowers now? Are your importers bringing you different kinds because some flowers are not available? What's happening in the flower import-export business?
Right. So right now it seems to be getting a little bit better. You could go upstairs. Go ahead. Right. Alex is officially done. So she's signing off. Go ahead. Go. So right now it's getting a little bit better. I see a lot more varieties and a lot more availability. However, I will say there are, less options. It's a little harder to get sort of more unique items, like roses available. Yes. Tulips available. It really just kind of depends on the vendor and also where the flowers are coming from. We've seen a ton of delays. So all flowers that come in have to be inspected. And so there's a huge backlog of inspections. So often if like it happened to me today, I was expecting cherry blossom branches and they were delayed a day because the inspectors, they didn't get to it today. Everyone's busy. So I think the best thing and what we've been sort of telling people and practicing is to just be patient. And we're grateful to get fresh flowers. And, there just has to be like a little wiggle room just in case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in addition to flowers being beautiful and Meredith creating wonderful designs for us to enjoy, there's another lesson of flexibility. And the beautiful things about flowers, if we go back to the idea of Torah, the world stands on three things: al ha-Torah, on Torah, on study, al ha-Avodah, on worship and prayer and spirituality, and on al gemilut chasadim, on doing acts of righteousness. So I think on this session of Erev Tov, we learned a little. We heard about acts of righteousness. We certainly heard about beauty. We heard about a couple coming together in a Jewish summer camp, and we heard about them now bringing their child into more Torah study at our school. So we really have come full circle in our celebration and in our time together. So Meredith, we thank you so much, and we thank Alex.
Thank you.
And we wish you the best. And those flower hair halos are gorgeous. And maybe if or when my three daughters get married, they'll choose flower halos, or certainly lots of flowers.
Okay. So you'll call me. And we'd love to meet you.
I'll call you. And of course, Shabbat and Shavuot and all those times in which we need flowers, I actually dress especially wearing flowers on my top, so we would be all in the right mood for the celebration.
I love it.
We're very always festive. On the theme. So we thank you, Meredith. I'm going to sign off with you, and then I'll just close with a couple of more words for Shavuot, and I wish you well. So we've had the Torah come into our beverages. We've had Torah come into the beauty of how we design our flowers, and we will have Torah come into all aspects of our life. And this is how we know we stay grounded. This is how we know which direction we should go into. And this is how we know really all of our paths should be paths of peace and righteousness and justice. We have a lot of fun on Erev Tov, and we like to think that this is a place where we can spend a few moments together, relaxing from the week, getting ready for the weekend, but always knowing before whom we stand and gathering our friends and our goodwill around us. So I wish everybody well. And of course, like every week, I wish you Erev Tov.